Welcome to Jules FM Voice Lab, and I am very excited today because Barbara Hastings, the amazing dialect coach, is actually joining me, and she's going to listen to my US accent and give me some hints and tips on how I can improve and where to now. Hi, Barbara. Welcome back. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
So thank you so much. I'm very excited actually to see where I'm at because we have worked together previously and the advice you gave me then was amazing. And since then, I have been doing my homework. I have been playing and I have been practicing. So hopefully I've made some progress. But do you know what? If I haven't, that's all right. I'll keep playing. So it'll be interesting to see anyway.
Well, I hope you can get some encouragement from this. I'm sure it has improved. As we said before, there was that study done on people just thinking through things and the muscles contracting. So I'm sure, and we've talked previously about your son, and playing accents with him. So that's great. You're a star student today.
Yay!
Yay! High five! A virtual high five, which nobody
Excellent.
can see.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, actually, we could start with a little fun activity for you though.
Oh, really?
What about we have a couple of random, because you said, and I think you called it code switching. Does code switching count with changing accent as well, not just within an American accent, like going from Australian to American and things like that? Does that count as code switching?
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I used to switch into British a lot. My partner will open the door for me sometimes and he'll say, "My lady." And which is really sweet. Or my daughter will go, "Mom, no," in American at me. Yeah. Or, "Oh my God." And then I'll go back, "Oh no, are you clear?"
Actually, I think my daughter sometimes when she's mimicking me puts on an accent. I'm like, I don't speak like that. But you know what? She's playing, so that's good. Oh, I think it's usually like an American, like, and I'm like, okay, yep, sure. But good, she's code switching.
Really good placement in your voice, nice and clear. That's great.
I've been practicing. All right, so the little code switching for you. What about let's go 3. So we go British singers. I know you can do that now. Australian and American. So we'll start with your American, then switch. And the sentence is, and I'll do the same. I'll do it as well because that's only fair. Is what about pass the butter, please?
Okay.
So American first for you.
It usually takes me. Oh, in American.
No, that's
pass
fine.
The butter, please.
Yeah, of course. All right. So
Are you going to do it?
Pass the butter, please. Oh God, that was not good. Okay, pass the butter, please.
Pass the butter, please.
Pass the butter, please. Oh dear, got me in my head. Pass the butter, please.
But you know that it's off, and that's.
Yeah, I can hear that it's not quite right. Pass. Okay.
Yeah, good.
Pass the butter, please. Pass. Pass the butter, please. Pass the butter, please.
Oh, pass is Australian.
Pass the butter, please. Yeah, okay.
And then get your R on butter.
Butter. Pass the butter, please. Okay.
There, it already sounds better.
Yeah, getting there. Okay, so for you, Australian now, and I'll do it. Pass the butter, please.
Pass the butter, please. Whoop, no, my E was off.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Pass the butter, please.
Pass the butter, please.
That was hard, isn't it? That was not bad.
Pass the butter, please. Oh, see, you've got a Melbourne accent as well.
I know.
Pass the butter, please. Pass the butter, please.
You have so watched a lot of Kath and Kim, haven't you?
Oh my God. Pass the butter, please.
Yeah.
I know, it's really hard. And this is where I would go and get coaching. I'd turn up to my coach and I'd be like, "Oh my God, I sound terrible."
No, it wasn't. It
Pass
wasn't
the butter,
all.
please.
That's good. Yeah, that was good. Less kind of Kath and Kim. That's good. Okay, now UK, we've got to get into that, don't we? Okay. All right, then I need to get into that. Right, pass the butter, please. Pass the butter, please. Pass the butter, please. Pass the butter, please.
Pass the butter, please.
Nice. I think we both nailed that one.
Neither of us are English, so we're not going to explain. I did live there for many, many years, and I just got back. So
Yeah. I think, do you do the same thing I do where I have to find a word that I will relate to that? So for when I'm going into British, I go right, right. Right is my word. I think it kind of helps me get into the English accent. Do you do the same? Do you use words to get you there?
yeah. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. It depends on the accent. British is just more of a mindset. I just have to switch into my British self.
Yeah.
And but with Australian, I'll go too far with the oh no Cleo thing. But if I say something with O's in it and butter and water, things like that. So for some people, they have whole sentences. It's whatever works for you. Throw it against the wall, see if it sticks.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Lovely. All right.
Yeah.
Well, over to you now. So maybe you can guide me through this bit.
Okay, let's do it. What are we doing?
Okay, let's do it. All right. So I've got a script you sent me. So I've got that now in my hand.
Okay.
What's the plan from here?
It's really important before you start working on an accent to make sure you're working on appropriate material. So usually with an audition, that's obviously you've been selected because you fit the role.
Yeah.
Sometimes not. I've worked with a casting director as a casting assistant where he brought in intentionally people who didn't fit the role just to sway the producers.
Interesting.
So so keep in mind that usually you are brought in for that, but sometimes you're brought in for contrast.
Okay, yeah, right. Okay.
So the second thing that I would recommend is if you're doing this to try to prove you can do an American accent, please, for the love of God, please find something written by an actual American.
Okay, because the language choices will make a difference too. Okay.
Exactly. The grammar, the syntax, the language choice, all of that makes a huge difference. So a Kiwi actor friend of mine, he was down to the final audition. He went in and they didn't know what they wanted to do with his character. And it was a lead role in a long-running series. And he gave it, Kiwi, he did Australian, he did American. They even asked him to do it mute.
Oh, wow. Okay. Crazy.
A non-speaking character. Wow. And it's a very physical role, but and they said, well, what other accents have you got? Because they weren't satisfied with any of that. He went, Scottish. And so he pulled Shrek out of his thumb pocket somewhere. And they went, that's the one.
Wow.
So he spent however long, a couple of years doing Scottish.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It wasn't a role where you'd expect that. And so it was really hilarious. And they weren't writing it in Scottish, but sometimes these shows, So those are my tips for you: is find something in American. Don't pre-memorize it before you come to coaching, because again, you're creating muscle memory and it's just harder to change.
Yeah, I remember you saying that in the last episode. That was really important tip. Yeah,
and that's why I sort of threw you today and didn't send you the script ahead of time, because I didn't want you to memorize it.
That's what I'm like. I would have been like, right, get on this, know what it's about. Absolutely.
You're so organized, and that's wonderful, and you're on time, and you're wonderful. But with this, you've got to be more organic and play.
Yeah.
So what I'd suggest is, do you want to read a page or two of this?
Yeah.
And context is everything. So this, for the listeners, this is a woman who's just come back from the dentist, and her assistant, who's been rifling around in her things, is kind of whoops and gets scared, and she is like, woohoo, they gave me drugs.
Okay, yeah, right.
So this gives you some freedom to play with your accent as well.
Good. Okay.
So if we read the first couple of pages, or even the first page, what do you want to do?
Yeah, we'll go for the first two, see how we go.
Alrighty. Okay.
And now, are you going to play Chris or Mary?
I am.
Chris?
I'm Chris and you're Mary.
Nice. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Let's do it.
Ms. Thomas? Ms. Thomas? I thought you were out for the rest of the day.
Chris, what are you doing in my office?
I didn't expect you back today. I thought you were at the dentist.
No. there is way too much work to do today. Why are you in my office?
Oh, I was just looking for this file. Here, now I have it. Thanks, gotta go. Oh, Miss Thomas, are you okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just lost my balance there for a minute.
How did you get back here?
I drove, of course.
You drive the blue Toyota, right? Do you
Uh,
remember driving here?
uh, don't be silly. Of course I do.
I
Yeah.
think you should let me drive you home.
Home? Home. Home? No, 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 we have to get that proposal done.
Yeah, but I don't think you're in any shape to work today.
What are you talking about? I'm fine.
How
Oops. Oh, I think the chair moved on me.
many fingers am I showing?
Um, hmm. What are you talking about?
Just answer the question.
12. 12 fingers.
Okay,
All right.
so how do you feel?
Look, I thought it was okay. I think the general vibe was okay. There probably is little words that I just didn't quite get right, but generally I felt that it was okay. What I tend to find at the moment is when I'm doing an American accent, sometimes I find that also it gets bigger rather than normal like me with an American accent. Does that make sense? So it gets a
Yep.
little bit over the top. So I don't know. Did it sound like that?
A little bit, yeah, it did. And again, you're right. It's a normal response
Hmm.
when we feel discomfort or insecurity. So generally, everybody does that. In general, Americans, we do use more energy. We are bigger, quote unquote, whatever that means. And I think it comes down to, and this is where a cultural understanding of an accent is so important. So you have American culture is me first, pioneer spirit, pull myself up by the bootstraps. If I don't get it, it doesn't get done. It's me, 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 right?
Yep.
Australia, I find, is a more community-based spirit,
Hmm.
and there's also the convict culture hangover. So you think about the ships of convicts, and you had the overlords, the British soldiers. Then you had the underlings who were all the so-called criminals, but then you had like any criminal culture, you have a hierarchy. And so everybody who's not at the top of the food chain within the criminal culture tries to fly under the radar. And I
Hmm.
think that's a really big thing here. Flying under the radars and not being a tall poppy is a really big thing here.
Yep. Okay.
So for you, you probably felt like a tall poppy then.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good way to look at it. Yep.
So I'd say that some of your discomfort, you have to learn to live with that, but you have to judge how much of a tall poppy to be. So from my point of view, you weren't like over the top, but it wasn't really connected to reality either, totally. But you're
Okay.
focusing on the accent. So like you're trying to juggle three different things at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Pardon me. Yeah. So how was the accent?
Well, I think we can work on some things.
Okay, that's okay. Is it getting better? Can you remember it last time?
I can't remember. I
No,
can't
of course you have
remember.
so many. That makes sense. Of course.
I'm sorry.
Don't be silly.
But well, what I'd say is the first thing I noticed, I can tell you
Yes.
what I did notice. The first thing I noticed was your placement. And that's a really, really kind of nebulous, difficult to define term. So, what is placement? And when we think about placement, we think about really where the sound is vibrating from. Again, that's really kind of a hard concept.
Hmm.
But when I was learning to not sound so Californian, and we were learning other accents when I was doing my master's degree, our teacher taught us that Brits, for example, have a very forward placement.
Yes.
Everything is on the articulators, very forward. The Australian is very far back
Yeah.
in the mouth, and you close the mouth a little bit more. Whereas American is much more open, the jaw drops a lot more, and the sound is placed in the middle of the mouth.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So what I heard was your
Hmm.
placement was too far forward.
Yep.
So that's probably the too bigness you
Oh,
felt.
nice. Yep.
Yeah. So you were trying to bridge the gap between the American energy, which is big like that, and where to put the sound. So for people
That's
like you, I'd
great.
suggest just saying the first line. You can say the first line again, but pitching it slightly lower in your voice. Now, this is tricking your brain into replacing it. So there's two ways you can go about it. You can think about the placement being in the middle of your mouth, like there's an apple in the middle of your mouth, right between your cheeks, and making the sound originate from there. Or you can just pitch your voice down slowly. Slowly, more lower.
Okay. So, Chris, what are you doing in my office?
Great. That's so
Is it
much
better?
better. How did it feel?
Yeah, it actually felt like me, pardon me, me doing an American accent rather than an over the top American accent. So,
Right,
yeah.
which was really broad brushstrokes. So now you were more specific. So which way did you choose to do it? Just lowering the pitch or putting the sound in the middle of your mouth, or both?
I think I did kind of try to do both. I
Okay.
specifically lowered it too. Like, Chris, what are you doing in my office? Like, that was kind of in the middle. I was trying to, yeah, and lower. It's good. It works.
It
Amazing.
does work, yeah. As
Yes.
long as you're not straining your vocal
No,
folds, your
not at
throat at all,
all.
then
No.
it
Feels much
helps.
more
So
natural.
my next, yeah,
Mm.
and it sounded a lot more authentic. So my next thing I'd say to you is, and this is kind of a misconception that is, I can't believe the number of people who still teach this, is that American accents are nasal. They're not.
Yeah, right.
And in Britain, I used to hear, oh, American and Australian accents are nasal, and neither of those things is true.
Mm.
We have some sounds that are brighter. So, yeah, they are pitched sometimes in the nose, and they have more energy to them, which is why this misconception of it being nasal happens. So I'd say that you are leaning a little more nasal. So lowering your pitch and then really concentrate on bringing the sound down sort of so that it hovers over your tongue might
Yeah.
help get rid of that nasality. So you can try that again.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, Chris, what are you doing in my office? Um,
Good. And
no. There is too much work to do today. Why are you
okay.
in my office? Is that better?
Yeah, much better in terms of
Wow.
pitch and
Okay.
placement. Does it feel easier?
Feels natural. Yeah, it does feel easier. It doesn't feel as effortful or forced, which is great. But
Yeah, I
it is a
love that.
retraining. It is a retraining of my brain though, because I'm consciously working on where I put it. But yeah, it feels better.
That's great. And that's what coaching is all about. I want you to feel good about what you're doing and
Yeah.
for you to have a barometer, to have a thermometer on when you're doing it right and when you're not, because you don't always have access to a dialect coach for these things.
No.
It's ideal if you do, but you don't always have it. So let's do one more thing.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do is a more advanced skill because I could have coached you on every single word as you were doing it before, but
Yep.
you actually self-corrected when you did those two things. So it sounded more authentic.
Yep.
So what I'd like you to do is instead of saying, what are you doing in my office? And the word are, A-R-E, right?
Yep.
We wouldn't say, what are you? We'd say, whatter, like
Okay.
a cow's udder, but you need
Yep.
that rhotic sound. So let's
Er.
just remind ourselves of what that sounds like.
What are you doing in my office?
Whatter.
What are you doing in my office?
So this is where
Er.
I'm going to switch for you. Yeah,
Yep.
you can make the sound but now you're fighting muscle memory because your mouth is used to doing the exact opposite of what I'm asking you to do,
Mm.
which is what are you
Water.
doing?
Yep.
And I had to learn this in reverse. And now you have to go from an open sound to a very, very tight,
Water.
tense sound.
Mm.
Water.
Water. Chris, what are you doing
Yeah.
in my office?
And I'm just writing this out for you in the chat because it helps sometimes for
To look
people
at it.
who are visual or multimodal learners to see it written out. Water.
Water. What are you
There
doing
you
in my office? What are you
Great.
doing in my office?
How does that feel?
Yeah, great. Actually, really good. And it feels really natural. It feels like my voice, but with an American accent rather than like me doing it over the top. It's kind of it feels more natural.
Good. So
It's a lot more thinking, but that's okay
well, and right
to
now
start
you're
with.
in the conscious competent stage
Yeah.
of learning. So this is the other thing too that can really hamper or help your learning, is going through these 4 stages and giving yourself some slack. Like,
Yeah.
For some people, this might be their first time learning any of this. So it takes a good 2 years to become fluent in a language. It takes 1 to 200 hours to learn to read for a child. So I see a lot of people, the majority of people, put pressure on themselves in this 1 hour with me to get everything perfect, quote unquote, in that hour. And you can't.
No,
you can't.
But I love this because I've got something to take away now, and I can keep practicing lowering and putting it in the middle. So it's really helpful to make it sound more natural too, because I was really getting stuck on it being over the top. It was really sounding like a forced American accent. So,
and the truth of the matter is that you're trying to pronounce every word and you don't need to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And you're right. If you get into, it's almost like, and it sounds good in theory, but this is, I think, the way it works. If you get into the mindset of it and relax with it, then that play, hopefully it all just starts to, I don't know, come more easily and feel more natural.
It does. And once you learn a certain concept or a sound or whatever it is, then you go back and you practice it and you can let go of it and play once you've nailed it. So you're on the right track. So my next point would be, what's the most important word in that question? What are you doing in my office? What's the most important word?
Oh, office maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Doing is probably second. What are you doing in my office?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we stress a word, because that's what we were just trying to figure out.
Yeah.
We stressed the words doing and office more than doing. And when we stress a word, we go higher in pitch, higher in volume, and slower. What are you doing in my office? So I'm up office. And when we are using what's called function words that you just get you to where you need to go in the sentence, what are you? Those are your first function words.
Yep.
We tend to make them low in pitch, low in volume, and fast. And the only difference, and all forms of English do this, the only difference is how high in volume you go and how slow, and how low in volume you go and how fast and pitch. All that. Americans just do it a little bit bigger.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So we go a little higher in pitch, a little higher in volume, a little slower, and the reverse is true. So what are you? And I'm keeping this
in my office?
Right from what are you doing in my office?
What are you doing in my office? What are you doing in my office?
That sounds so much better.
Yeah, right.
But now don't go too far on office, because now it's a little overstressed. Office. We don't want that. And bring that sound down. Office.
What are you doing in my office? What are you doing in my office? What are you doing in my office?
Better. Good. Now say it like you're saying it to one of your kids.
What are you doing in my office?
Good. Now even get more real with it, because you don't really go that far, and there's a little bit of, what are you doing in my office?
What are you doing in my office?
Good. That's good. Much better. So what you need to practice is water, and that's called linking and reduction. Yeah. So we're linking those two words together, and we're reducing the word R to Water.
So what are you doing in my What are you doing in my office? What are you doing in my What are you doing in my office? What are you doing? What are you doing in my office?
Yeah, and you'll need to play with it. It'll go one direction too far, the other direction too far, but you'll find your stride.
And I find it really useful. I can often, sometimes, I can hear it generally when I'm saying it, but also when I hear it back, you can really hear whether you've nailed it or not. Do you know what I mean? If I'm recording and then listening it back, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's not quite right.
So as a voiceover artist, when you're doing that, you're used to listening to your voice. Most people aren't. But the best thing you can do is listen back, and you go, oof, oh,
yes.
And if you can, I do the same. But if we can suspend that judgment of ourselves and just get into the learning space and the playing space, then you can learn so much quicker and with more accuracy. Great.
Barbara, thank you so much for your time today and again, your expertise. Now, what's the best way for anyone who would like some dialect coaching to contact you? Because I'll put it all in the socials, in the notes below.
So barbarahastings.com.au will be my new website, but you can contact me. It'll be in the notes. Email me directly, probably at the moment, until my website's up and running. And that's always a good way. And then I'll send you my scheduling app and you can schedule yourself in.
That's
which is
fantastic. Great. Yep. I will share all of those details in the notes. It has been an absolute pleasure and you are amazing. The unbelievable detail you can pick up from accents and hearing people's voices is phenomenal. It's a real art. So very talented and I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's kind of you. Thanks. It's been a pleasure for me too. You're an absolute delight to work with and talk to.
Thank you. And thank you for listening and joining me again on Jules FM. Hopefully this Voice Lab with Barbara was useful for you some way as well and helping you hone your US accent. Don't forget to hit follow or subscribe on your podcast platform so you don't miss an episode, and I look forward to joining you again sometime soon. Until then, remember, big dreams don't start with perfection, they begin with a voice.